Hello. Yeah, today I am going to be trying to implement some form of web server in C/C++. Well, C++. You can tell by the auto. Yeah. Never done any network programming. I am absolutely clueless here. So thought it would be fun to learn something. Yeah, so I guess we can start. So I have set up a super basic kind of boilerplate thing here, just with two files, right? So we have main and then just some basic type defs. Yeah, nothing really happening, right? Just basic. Yeah, just basic drill, hello world, whatever, type beat. Yeah, so we're gonna have to be doing socket programming, right? And I've never done this. I just know there is this function socket, right, that takes some things. And we have to include this as well. So it's here, right? Yeah. Sys socket. Okay. So yes, this returns a file descriptor, which is basically an open file handle, as far as I understand. Yeah, so it looks like 3 parameters, a domain. So maybe we should check out the manual. Socket creates an endpoint for communication, transfer file descriptor. Yeah. So domain, we will be wanting to do IP4. So it looks like we have to, and maybe I will just, oh God, kind of write in what we're actually doing. Also, this would be a file descriptor, which is returned. File descriptor. Yeah, okay. So we also take a type. So what is type? So not sock packet. I think sock stream we want, right? This is TCP. I think dgram would be UDP. So I think sock stream. Now I think this is TCP. Maybe I should just check real quick. So is sock stream TCP? Yes, socket stream TCP. Okay, thank you, Gemini. So, and then we need to create a protocol. And this will be, so these are additional flags. Oh, I think here even says. Whatever. Does it say where the protocol is? protocol. Hello. I'm just gonna Google Linux socket function usage. Yeah, sockets are just files. Maybe we'll check out this. So yeah. Oh, just 0. And what does 0 mean though semantically? Okay, well, if fd is -1, then we will return 1, and we will say std print line could not create socket and return. And if we succeed, so we have a file descriptor. Maybe I should also do const expr auto port, which will be, what do we want our port as? Random number, and we will do const expr auto. I think this will actually make a initialize a list, but so we will do address, and this will be just an array of bytes, right? So we can do 127 0. Yeah, I'm gonna have to type this out of curiosity though. What does it think it is? Yeah. This will be a HTTP U8 am I being dumb? Let's do this. Using port is HTTP. Let's have some more clearer semantics. And then using address v4. This will be an array of length 4 of U8s. Now we can just say this is an address, and then this is a port. And then we can even do this, right? Okay, nice. And we need to include, oh, we have print. Okay, so, right, so we have opened a socket, right? So what do we do with the socket? Because basically we're going to be we want to listen to some port and handle any, you know, clients that try to attach or try to join the session, right? So we need to, we've created, yeah, TCP socket over IP4. We're gonna need to define a server address, right? So we're gonna need this special type, which is, where is this from? So this would be, oh, what did, Um, oh, what is this? Very readable. Yeah. Can we man this? Socket or sock adder. Sorry, I'm really clueless about this. So, okay. So we have the syn family, right? So we're going to do, let's just make this adder and then adder dot sa family. Oh no, syn family. So syn family is what? There should be, okay. I don't know what's going on with the LSP here. Maybe I will try. No. LSP restart. Oh god, whatever. Issue for later, as long as it compiles, I guess. So, okay, so we want to set the family. What is this family? Okay, so we're going to say, I'm guessing this is the type. Right, so this would be IP4. HTONs. So this just, okay. So this would be the syn port is HTONs. And where is this? Does it give me any code action? No. HTONs. It's here. What is this ARPA INET? Well, you learn new stuff every day, right? So we're going to pass in the port. Maybe I should make this a global or screaming. Okay, so we define the port, and then there's this last thing we need to define, which is syn address, which is any. Also, here we listen to all available IPs. Not sure oh, what's that? I'm not sure I get why we would do that. We this page looks better. What is, oh yeah, okay. So, we know this. Yeah, 4 bytes. Ah, okay, so how do we, yeah. What is, so the family, the port number, and the address, and this has to be a, so it's under syn address dot s adder. Why do we have this? Why can't we just do this right here? Don't understand that. We don't care about IPv6. Okay, so we're going to have to how is this defined? Oh god. It's just 0. I'm not sure why we would connect to that. So we've defined the server address, right? That's what we were doing here, I guess. So we've created a socket on a that's basically represented as a file, right? File descriptor is just a file in Linux. It's like an open handle to a file. And we've defined some address that we want to connect to. And now we will need to, we're going to probably have to bind, I'm assuming. So we're going to bind the server socket so bind the file descriptor. So we're going to bind, what does this return? This returns an int, which is something. What? I'm not really good at using the manuals. I just want to see what the return value on success 0 is returned on error. Okay, so it's just an error. So if it's, or should we do not equal to, if it's not equal to 0, then we want to do this. Return 1 and could not bind socket to address. And so bind will take the file descriptor, so the file descriptor, and it will take sock adder. So what is, wow, amazing C code. So then we take the size of the socket. So we will do some crazy syntax, and then we will do the size of the adder, So what is this thing we're doing? I'm gonna write this first, and I'm gonna figure out what the fuck it's doing. So the struct, because it's not type def probably, sock adder, and then it's the adder. So we are taking the address of this and casting it to, oh, okay. Sure, no, actually makes sense. And if it's, let's also do here, if it's not equal to 0, and do this. So we've opened a socket, define address to bind to, and then so here we've bind the open socket to the address, right? Makes sense, that's why it's called bind. And then we listen for incoming connections. So now we're going to say, okay, listen. And what does this take? It takes a file descriptor. Don't know what 5 is here for. And okay, so if could not listen to socket, server socket could not listen, server socket could not listen for client connections. Okay, so I guess what is prepared to accept connections? So I guess this is how many we're willing to accept, and then this is this is just like the ID, right? So okay, and then we can accept a client connection. So I'm just wondering, actually wait, so let's do auto client. We're gonna say client is accept. So we'll probably need a main loop running here. What is that server socket? This is the, this is the file descriptor. No pointer, no pointer. So I assume somewhere we will need a main loop, right? Because I mean that's just, yeah, we're gonna need some server loop, we're gonna need some main loop to handle requests. So I can assume that maybe this would go in a main loop or something. I'm gonna leave this out for now because I want it to actually return at some point. So what does accept do? Await a connection on a socket. So we pass in. I'm assuming here we would pass in the where we want to put in the client information. And then okay. And then we read everything into a buffer. I'm not really getting this overall flow though, right? This is just kind of what each... Oh, I guess I do an example, right? So create a socket, create the address, binding, and then accepting. So can we... I mean, I'm thinking we just make a global buffer for now. Yeah, okay. Just a global buffer that we can access at any time. So we have the client, and then we will we can receive, read n bytes into buff from socket fd. So this, we're gonna read from the client maybe? We're gonna read from the client, I'm assuming. Yes, into the buff to the size of buff. Wait. So what is this doing exactly? We're reading into the file descriptor. Well, we're reading from the client into the buffer, the size of it, and we're passing in no flags. Yeah, I guess. Just out of interest, what are the flags? Oh, so there's... non-blocking. Okay, this is stuff that I have no idea how to handle. But okay, so according to this, so I wonder if this is blocking, if like this listen or this accept function is blocking. Is socket accept blocking? I see. Okay, so it is blocking. That makes sense. So, and then, okay. And then we can just print std print ln. So I'm curious to get this working, right? So print message from client, and then we're going to just the buffer, right? I'm wondering if, yeah, okay, we can print buffers. Still not super accustomed to print interface. So let me see if we can get this compiled. Okay, so it did compile. Could not create socket. So oh yeah, so if it is -1. Okay, yeah, that's done. I thought so. So if this is -1, because this is actually something we need. This can also be const. So let us compile again and then server. Oh god. Maybe I should std print ln listening, waiting for client connections. So let's compile again, and then okay. Now the question is, how do we send a request? So I'm thinking we might be able to just want to like this kind of. Did it? So that worked. Okay, nice. So I guess maybe let's read what, oh God, let's read what we're actually sending. So we were waiting for the client connections. We got a message. So it was a GET request from yes. Guess this is the browser and information about my local machine. Awesome. Okay. Well, okay. I didn't expect it to be that easy. So we have set up way to listen. I can already see the code becoming horrendous though. So I would really like to make a class or something out of this. So how can we so I'm not super interested in creating a client yet. Nice article. Don't have an account. Freak that, bro. So the thing is, like, how do we create the while loop so we can listen for as many? So yeah, like this while true. Should I go crazy Rust mode and do like define loop while true? That'd be crazy. We can just do loop. I mean, whatever. We're making Rust at home, so we're gonna loop, and so I'm assuming, right? We're going to. So we're going to create the file descriptor, which is our socket. We do that once. We only want to create one server. Same for the address. I'm still curious about this, right? I'm gonna have to check that out in a second. And then I'm assuming all of this. I'm not sure if we need to put this in the loop, right? So listen, prepare to accept connections on socket. I'm not sure, but I know for sure. So we want to accept. I guess. So what does read do though? What is how does the API differ? Socket read. What is the? I guess it's just a more general API, right? So receivers specifically for sockets. Okay. Okay. So then we want to. So let's see what happens if we run this again. Oh God. And I'll put this on my second monitor so we can see the logs live, right? So we're going to go to localhost. Oh no, sorry, 12 this at 6767. And if we so the browser is stalling now. Interesting. Wonder why it's doing that. And if we okay, yeah, but it stalls. So let's just quit that. Nice. Okay, so we do have a the best server ever set up. Yeah, so I'm curious to see what this listen, right? So what is, so Linux socket, what is listen for? Like, I mean, I get it, I get that it's preparing it, right? But like, what is this? Does it mean we can only have 5 clients at a time? What is it? What backlog? Backlog parameter is not a maximum number of connections. It's just a hint. It's a hint to the stack about how many TCP connections can be accepted on the socket's port before the application code has invoked accept. What? Oh, like how many pending connections I guess we can have. Ah, so I guess it's the size of pending connections we can have, right? So listen defines the size of, or the listen defines the size of, or the amount of pending connections allowed before they are taken by accept, right? So this will then takes the connection out of the backlog, I'm guessing. Maybe we'll put that on the there. Okay, that makes sense. No idea what a good size for this to be is. Awesome, that's nice. So I think that is all we can get into today, because I actually have to be working on my bachelor. But I definitely want to come back to this because it's interesting to learn. Peace out, my dudes.